Welcome to Big Bear Survival and Training. My name is Kevin Thomas. I'll be your host. We're going to discuss videos in the future where we're going to talk about different things. We're going to talk about survival, prepping, firearms, food storage, water storage, a lot of different things that can keep you safe and healthy during an emergency. Anything like natural disasters. I'm here in Colorado, so a lot of times you never know. I mean, it can be a wildfire that hits just like that, and you don't have time to do a lot of things. Some of my friends had to bug out in less than 30 minutes. So these are things that to keep in mind with you that would be essential in training yourself and being ready for when the Schumer hits the fan, as they say. So what I'm going to talk about today a little bit is firearms. And these are the 3 essential firearms that I would want to own or would want to have with me in the event of a natural disaster, an economic disaster in the United States, flooding, famine, the 4 riders of the apocalypse. I don't know. Whatever happens, I want to be prepared. I started out as a Boy Scout, went into the Army. They taught me to be more prepared. I've been doing prepping for the last 20 years. I've always thought it was important to have skills and equipment necessary to keep me and my loved ones safe. So some of those things I am going to talk about today is firearms. And these are the 3 essentials: the Glock 19, the Remington 870, and the AR-15, which comes in a variety of different configurations and manufacturers. Also, you could go with the Mossberg 500. You could save a little money on there if you did that. Both are great shotguns, equal in my mind. As far as a handgun goes, as long as it's a 9mm, I think that you're good to go. A lot of guys like bigger calibers and things like that. I prefer all the NATO standard cartridges, which are 9mm, 5.56, 7.62, and 12 gauge. If you go with the NATO standard cartridge, most likely your local place isn't going to run out, and if you need to borrow some from a friend, they're going to have that available for you, or bartering situations. So the Glock 9mm, this is a Glock 19. Also comes in a 17 and a 26 and a 34. 34 is mostly for competition. It has a longer slide. The 17's the full-size version, has a 17 round plus 1 in the magazine. This has a 15 round plus 1 in the magazine. And the Glock 26 is an excellent choice for concealed carry because it's so compact, but you do lose some things with that barrel length and size. So this, to me, is a perfect weapon as far as a sidearm. It's known for its reliability. It's also known for quality and great price on these. You know, you get 3 magazines in the Gen 4. You can pick up one of these for about $550. You can do some customization to it. I've put night sights on it and a trigger job, which is something that is just a personal preference, but you can definitely go with stock trigger and sights. But those are the only 2 things that generally you can change on these that I think is worth the money. So one nice thing about this is the simplicity of Glock. You notice I am keeping this pointed in a safe direction. When I first showed it to you, I had the action open. I am going to verify that this firearm is completely empty, and by doing that, by racking the slide and observing the chamber, I can definitely do that. Now I am going to pull the trigger. Normally I wouldn't recommend that, but to take off the slide, you have to. So you have the frame here, that's one part. You have the slide spring here, that's part 2. Barrel, part 3. And the slide, part 4. The 5th part is, of course, the magazine, which without it makes the firearm almost useless, or just into at least a single shot. And it just assembles back the same way. One of the things I am going to talk about in future videos is cleaning and maintenance of firearms. A lot of my friends have asked me to do some videos on that because they just don't know how to take apart their firearms and clean them. So once you get the slide back assembled, you would simply just put it back on top here, slide it, and it's ready to go. If you insert an empty magazine, of course it's going to lock back. But that magazine is empty, and it's a 15-round magazine. I color these in with a little white crayon, and then take a credit card, wipe that off, and wipe it off with a little bit more with a rag. But that identifies for me that this is a Glock magazine, and it is my 9mm, and since it's 15 rounds, I know it goes with the Glock 19. Moving on, we have the Remington 870. Once again, I think the Mossberg 500 is a better value, but Remington has made millions of these. This was highly customized. Has a Hogue overmolded front foregrip. It has an 18.5-inch barrel. It has the pistol grip stock. Side saddle here, I think that's an ATI side saddle. And normally I would never shoot a video with live ammunition, but since it is in the side saddle and not in the firearm, I think that that's okay. We can double check, make sure our firearm is completely empty. The racking of that slide does send a very important message to whoever you want to convey that message to. It's a very unique sound, and if you are ever hearing it, you know what's going on. So that is a very good firearm, and great for personal defense. If the 12 gauge is a little much for you and you don't like that recoil, you don't lose a lot of firepower in the 20 gauge. You can go down the 20 gauge. Of course, you're getting away from that NATO standard cartridge I mentioned earlier, so I prefer you stay with the 12 gauge because 20 gauge ammo can be a little different to find. I would definitely stay away from the different shotgun type calibers that are different, like your 16 gauge and your 28 gauge. Your granddads probably use those quite a bit, but it's really hard to find ammo for those, especially any kind of specialty ammo. For 12 gauge, you can get a variety of ammo from slug, buck, hunting rounds, and you can buy 100 rounds of hunting / trap rounds for 25 bucks. So it's a very inexpensive way to shoot and protect somebody and protect your loved ones with that. Of course, my personal favorite, and this goes back to when I was 17 years old and was going through basic training, is the AR-15 rifle. The military version is an M16. The only difference really in the M16 and the AR-15 is the M16 is selective fire or full auto. This is a semi-automatic gas blowback. I didn't go with the new gas operating system in it because I just like the old one that's been used for years and it's very vulnerable. We have a Magpul adjustable stock here, Hogue overmolded grip, and a free-floating front barrel. It shoots 223 or 5.56. The difference between 223 and 5.56 is the 5.56 is produced at a higher pressure. It is the military round. I would definitely recommend getting a 5.56 gun. That way you can shoot 223 in it and have no issues there. It's all about chamber pressure, and this one just happens to be set up. This is a Smith & Wesson M&P. I've customized it quite a bit from just straight off the shelf, but you can pick one of these up for about $600. If you shop around a lot, $700 or up to $1,000 if you really want a real nice one, like the Sig Sauer. Sells one at Walmart for a little less than $1,000. Got a 30-round magazine. The 5.56 round is very small and lightweight, and that's why we went to it. A lot of soldiers in World War II were complaining about carrying a lot of weight in their firearms and in their ammunition, and this allowed the soldier to carry a lot more. I recommend you have 7 magazines for your rifle. That's a typical combat load. It's 6 magazines, 6 30-round magazines. That's 180 rounds plus the one you got in there makes it 210. If you ever have to go into combat, that's what I would, at minimum, I would want with me. Some of the guys coming back from Afghanistan have told me they were carrying 10, 12 mags. I guess if you never want to have enough ammo, so that's good. As far as ammo for the shotgun, You know, you can use a variety though. I like to keep double-aught buck in mine, and that seems to work real well. As far as 3-load magazines, because you do get 3 magazines with the Glock 19, I use Hornady. Zombie loads are good. Any of the Hornady personal defense ammunition is really excellent. It's my personal favorite. So that's a good way to go on that. If you have 3-load magazines for your pistol, that's more than enough. As Jeff Cooper always said, your pistol is just to get you to your rifle. In my case, my pistol gets me to my shotgun gets me to my rifle. Your maximum effective distance probably for a pistol with training is going to be about 20 yards. With the shotgun, you're going to look at about 50 to 100 yards. And then with the rifle, maximum effective range of a 5.56 rounds is 550 meters. That's just a little overview of some of the type of training we're going to do here with the Big Bear Survival and Training. I hope you enjoyed this video, and please subscribe to my channel. Just click below and we'll get you all taken care of. Thank you.